Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Michael Andre Ford here in San Antonio, Texas. Just talking about the universe, angels, getting out of thinking and what you know briefly. Thinking's not going away, it's not in the cards for mankind. And thinking's just a lot of judging, the type of knowing that we all do, every single one of us, especially anybody in the corporate world or spirituality industry and everything else. The knowing precludes possibility. The human brain, we like to get comfortable with something and then stay there and not allow for the continued growth and expansion that's available for all of us. So whether it's transcendental meditation or one of 30,000 other groups, it's really easy to sort of attain, achieve, and get stuck just as you would with accomplishment, as you would with failure. Uh, the universe is just, again, constant growth, expansion, love, sparkle, and fun, and lots of joy. I help people connect to the universe with no barriers. So what you know isn't going to help you out very much. You got to let go of it just long enough to do basic listening, basic seeing, feeling, and more. And then it all comes rushing back. Welcome to meeting your intellect, your ego, your PhDs, what you know, and so on. And what you know is really important in one sense. It's what allows for the contrast here on Earth. I wouldn't want to change anybody's thinking. How they roll is how they roll. How you spend your energy is how you spend it. But where you put your focus is where you put it. So if you can catch yourself spending too much time up here, you can switch to here. And what is this? There's a million ways to describe it: awareness, unconditional love, possibility, creativity, no limits, timelessness, and maybe the intersection to all. I think it's Seth from the 1970s, the light being, Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, that group of light beings, and even Peaceful Warrior. They all reference how this is the point of entry for everything you know, that everything you need in life is actually within. And I'll add, for my little Listening to Angels book, that was a bestseller twice, a number two bestseller. No one gets to claim being a number two bestseller twice. It's on Amazon, $7.99, written by angels. If anybody thinks I wrote it, you're the best. Thank you very much. But I saw balls of light as I was typing. It's a 15-minute read. I think Anita Morjani did a fantastic review, endorsement review, and you can see that on my website. That's michaelandreford.com. But the book's $7.99, and it's a real quick read, a one-page forward, one-page intro, 4 or 5 pages, how to listen to angels, and then photographs and a little explanation on each angel. So that's your best bang for your buck. I think I sell the photos for $3 each on my website. I took photos of angels a long time ago. And the point that I'm getting at is going to be about the heart in just 1 second. But the epilogue by an angel named Dale in that book is about 2.5 pages. I think I stuck some of that on the website. I also have it on my social media if you just want to take a look at some of the pages for free. I think it would be hard to argue that I wrote it. It's so gentle, so compassionate, and a lot of fun. And during a lot of the APL shows, Angels, Positivity, and Love shows with guests, I'll often bring up a passage and read it. So, in fact, in the last couple of APL Spotlight Series shows where guests come on and we try to air those within a few days of the taping, I think I read a few passages from that book. So, there's a lot of ways to get access to it where you don't necessarily have to pay $7.99. So, the big gist that Angels made was that nothing's really external around you. There's nothing to gain here, there's nothing to lose. It's move past seeing the negative. That's an analysis that goes on in the brain. It's kind of like the New Jersey drone thing, or UFO or UAP, or just off world, a portion of it, or interdimensionally getting a hello. Our brain wants to do anything but allow for just a little more peace and love. In fact, what's great about this experience for everybody on the East Coast or wherever else it's happening, California, Europe, and so on, is eventually it'll exhaust all the thinking, and you have to either go crazy or laugh, take a bigger breath, smile, and go broader, go within and just feel better. Nothing's actually threatening you, that you're not, I don't know how to say this the right way, that you're not permitting to have that influence on you. So just toughen up a little bit, be a little more peace, joy. Tis the season. And I'm here to actually do some experiential stuff. I hopefully am super different to add to the contrast. I like to bring everyone experiences. So you're directly connecting to the universe, no thinking, no barriers. Your heart already knows what to do. It's a Formula One race car driver. It's a famous opera singer. It knows how to hit the stage and bellow. I just help you shift from here to here, and you get to directly see hundreds of loving figures from all sorts of cultures here on Earth and off-world and more, including your passed over loved ones and so on. So it's direct seeing, direct hearing. I don't see anybody's questions or answers anymore. In the old days, I used to pore over the questions and the answers with folks and talk about it. But I feel like it's much more important you do everything directly. You own your own listening. So I'm not like a 1920s classic mystic telling you stuff, although it slips out and I still sometimes hear stuff. I feel like the metaphor would be if I told you anything, it would be like the dad trying to teach riding a bike to whatever age kids. And all of you are already Tour de France level professional Olympic cyclists. If you just trust your heart more, you've got this. You're incredible at what you do all the time, especially unconsciously. If you give yourself more credit for the little micro moments during the day, just flipping a light switch on the wall, falling asleep at night, taking a shower, you'd realize you've had it all along. All you have to do is slow down up here and drop to here, and everything begins to unfold. The universe meets you at least more than halfway and does the rest. So you get any answers to any questions, all languages spoken, all dialects, plus tons of humor. And what's kind of cool about this is you're known. First page of your story when you were born, last page when you're going to pass over, and everything in between. And obviously, you're somewhere in here. So they know how to navigate your entire value system. You don't like sushi. You only eat sushi on Tuesdays. You love sushi. You'll eat it anywhere. You like the New York Jets. You don't like the Giants, or the other way around. They know how to say everything just right so it avoids this and it reaches you here. And it's any level of detail. So it just takes a little bit of courage to show up, a little bit of courage to listen. It could be the scariest thing in the world. If you're hyper religious or hyper this, hyper that, hyper so on, you might either be offended or get panicky or fearful because the Jesus that you know can't possibly be accessible, or God can't be accessible, or Muhammad or Mary, or who else am I missing? Buddha. So it gets really easy to be very comfortable and sit with walls around you, thinking barriers, routine, understandings at an organizational level that preclude possibility. But if you're cool about it, you can have Jesus hold your hand. You can walk with Jesus. You can totally listen to him, talk to him about anything. Great sense of humor, really, really nice. I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I'll say that about every single figure. Just a real sweetheart. It's all love, love and above, love and lots of sparkle and zip. And you get to have it your way. But I think what's cool is if you have a reaction to anything, that's a reaction. It's thinking it's normal to, if I say to somebody, let's go to a new restaurant, half the time we have a reaction. We're like, oh, I'm not sure it's any good, this and that. It could be anything that we react to or even reject. And that's just a function of the ego, fear, worry, doubt, stress, the brain. Welcome to being human. And what's great is mankind is truly, I guess this is the big enchilada right now, what's coming our way. We're getting a lot of extra love, awareness, consciousness flooding in. Call it the raising the frequency or the vibe of the planet. Everyone gets to go along for the ride. It doesn't matter, how much woo-woo you want to do or spiritual. And I know I sound like I'm woo-woo-woo, but you have tons of either religious, non-religious figures, East Asian figures, India figures, like 30 plus, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, Lakshmi, lots of the gurus who were alive in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, Krishnamurti, Babaji, I think Papaji, yeah. Lots, Sri Kaleshwar, Sri Shirdi Sai Baba is one of my favorite, the one from 100 years ago. Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Rama, it's like 30, 35 figures. Durga, the Divine Mother, the tiger, the Divine Mother rides on. You can meet all those. You can feel the fur of the tiger. And again, what I think is there's a huge practical aspect to this that, again, we're so used to limits. We're so used to the controlling aspects of society, whether it's a commercial on TV or the news or certain ways everything is told, that we're just not used to asking the universe to step in and provide a little extra help, a little more uplifting. You can get hugs. I think those are probably more important than the questions. I know the human brain, the intellect, people watching are going to want their answers. I get it. 49 pages is the record in 9 hours. I just checked in every 2 hours. Australians are really good at this. So you get everything your way. I always suggest that writing the answers down is helpful. I mean, you can have a two-way and just be walking, but I never remember anything, so writing your answers down is cool. It's a little bit like automatic writing. Anytime anybody says orbs, automatic writing, or a lot of the other stuff like ascension and everything, I don't really go with the lingo, the terminology. It's as if your best friend showed up or your favorite professor from high school, college, university, and you got to sit down with them and they happen to know everything. And they also just know how to kind of meet it out or deliver it or dose it out, the answers, so that you can handle it. Um, the number one way to roll is just like, hey, well, what do I need to know in life right now? They've got kind of a pecking order that's from, most important to least important. And what you're thinking is often, in the middle, or what's not important you're focused on. And so there's a little bit of an alignment or adjustment or attunement that you get. So you can just breathe easier, smile, relax, walk a smoother path in life. And in fact, you learn how to have a broader perspective of the universe, a broader perspective of how you're rolling with everything. There's a lot of language, a lot of labels slapped on. It's why even if you're the biggest Esther Hicks fan, or Abraham Hicks fan, you might not want to actually meet the Abraham Hicks light beings that make up all the good advice. Same thing with Seth. You might not want to actually meet Seth. You could be the page master for the greatest Seth page on the planet with 30,000 followers, and you're doing Seth all day long. But do you want to meet Seth? Probably not. If I've run off to different Buddhist communities and I'm like, hey, do you want to meet Buddha, Chogyam Trungpa, Kuan Yin, Thich Nhat Hanh? Most people will be like, hey, go away. We're doing Buddha over here, but they're not actually chatting with Buddha. Um, that's just a natural way the human brain reacts. Like once you're part of an organization, it's really easy to get comfortable and not allow for further growth. Just stick with what you know. Perfectly good rituals, perfectly good practices, perfectly good mindfulness and meditation. But in an instant, you can go for the whole Shakti pot or the rippling or the love or the Om or the unstruck bell or the universal consciousness coming in, where you have all the situational drama rama. No drama, just drama. You can have everything lifted off of you. So you kind of go to the mountaintop and just have a broader perspective. You get to relax and shine more. You can even see your soul, hear your soul, meet your guardian angel. You can meet off-world beings. That's something new for me in 2024. If you'd asked me in February of 2024, I'd be like, yeah, sure, but I don't know much. I mean, I had a few light beings or a bunch of light beings that are part of the cheerleading squad. There's a Grace whose enthusiasm, uh, she can show up in human form on the planet, and I better mention that. So everything is direct. I feel like I'm 100% off the hook. I've been taking photos of angels for, 13 years, got gifted photos of angels, Play-Doh, fairies, used to hand the camera to folks. That's great. But you can just see full on standing here behind me or out in the yard, or they can show up in human form. So one of the guests this summer got to run into her guardian angel on Redondo Beach and to sit for half an hour, sparkly-eyed human, full on. But there's many other people who have had direct experiences. I guess the rub is, what will you allow for? You just have to set your intention, allow, ask, and receive. That's kind of the only rule or structure involved. Get out of this, get into this, and let the universe do its job. And here is my actual only rule, besides like pen and paper's nice, and maybe breathing a little more. Don't tighten up and go shut tight like an oyster. This is about the world is your oyster. The universe is your oyster. Relax. But the only rule I've got is setting your intent. So just say angels, universe, angels. If you don't mind using angels, that's be the one little stickler. Angels, get me out of my head into my heart. Help me relax, catch the sage that I'm about to light. So I like to provide a lot of experiences. I dropped my only pen. Give me 1 second. I like to provide a lot of direct experiences that get you out of your head, into your heart, and you go, holy cow. And you can see light all around you. Butterflies, sparklers, confetti, geometric patterns, universal stuff that has to have a broader meaning, and all the sophisticated people know what that is. But it could be Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyph, galactic light codes, earth sacred geometry, Abraham, Hebrew letters, Native American symbols, and so on. You can get a gift package, so to speak, that really helps you expand. Just call it an upgrade. That's another one of those words I'm still like, ah. But it's just a lot of more love in the moment. And I think, you don't have to be in the middle of a divorce, a health crisis, questioning your life, what stage you're in to do this. But sometimes that's what it takes to get you to pay attention. Because in the end, this is about just slowing down enough to the point where you can get to your heart and just be part of the broader stillness. It's not about silence, it's stillness, how everything is interconnected. And if you just relax more and relax into what you've already got, again, nothing to gain, nothing to lose, you're already there. But part of the brain and a big portion of society is structured around forgetting everything. It's just human nature to forget. And it's not in the cards for our thinking to go away. So you can use thinking as a reminder. It's not very helpful. I mean, most of your thinking is negativity, not to put it that way. How about density? Most of your thinking is extremely dense, especially when you judge other people, judge situations, judge where you're at today. The more you can just shift the way you're looking at things, as Wayne Dyer says, you can meet him, the things you look at shift or change or expand. So it's really a function of understanding what's going on behind the scenes. You're usually shut tight like an oyster, locked up in the brain. Um, and that's what this is all about. So right now, if you want to rub your hands in a circle, rub your hands in a circle for 3 seconds. Ask the universe to step in. You're in the privacy of just watching this wherever you're watching it. And as long as you're not on a subway car, shout out to the universe angels. Hey, universe angels, get me out of my head into my heart. Make this nice. Help me catch the sage Mike is going to blow. Help me see the light on his hands. He's going to show me. You can see auras on everything. You can, if you have two loving people and they each see their light first, they can see their light flowing between them. What do you think happens when you run into your favorite person at the post office? You haven't seen them in 3 weeks, Dolores or Sarah or John, and they're just the most fun, sparkly person. And you light up as well. That's light going back and forth. Same thing with your dog. When your dog wags his or her tail, they're excited to see you. It's love. So there's something going on behind the scenes that you can participate more in. And I'll say it's just the heart, the universe, love, compassion, kindness, gentleness. Here's sage. I'm just lighting a little bit of sage. If you're hyper intuitive, you might start tasting it, but just ask angels to make it nice. And then ask for something else on top of the sage. Flowers, ocean. You want Egyptian incense on top of the sage. Here's the sage. Red-tailed hawk feather blowing it your way. You can play this over if you want. I'm only going to do this for a little bit, but you get one holiday dad joke, most importantly. What do you call a really old snowman? Water. If you're laughing, you're letting go. If you're yawning, you're letting go. If you got a little leak right here, you're letting go. If you shake a little, you're letting go. Just let your body do its job. I love to say, and this is from the Listening to Angels book, this is a bit like the classic treasure hunt. You've got the map, there's an X on the map, but instead of it being an external treasure, it's finding you. You're the treasure, your heart. You could have put a hand out to this. If you want to put a hand out, you can feel the vibe on your hand. I'll show you my light. I'll put up an angel and then I'll start to wrap it up. But no limits is no limits. What will you allow for? Most of every day, we're not allowing for very much. So you can just see my light. It's the Zen thing, seeing without seeing between my fingers. It'll look like a little wisp. It could be blue, green, yellow, 5 colors at once. And Santa's reindeer, Blitzen and Dancer, just those two reindeer. You don't have to remember who they are. Why do they drink so much coffee? Why do they drink so much coffee? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. And go ahead now, while you're laughing and breathing, leave your eyes on the screen. See a little glowing light? If you could type in the comments what you're seeing, I've had plenty of comments from shows, me as a guest on the show when I do this, on 75 other people's shows. People say what they're seeing. Your comments, subscribing, liking, and sharing this help a lot. We have a really small footprint when it comes to like the algorithm, but we have a huge guest list on the APL show. And we went from 3 shows to 2 in 2025, or we're going to make that shift. So now our guest list goes out not just to February of 2026, but August of 2026. But we'll do more fun programming, the mind, body, spirit panels. There you've got people doing stuff jointly. They're seeing light jointly. They're seeing angels jointly. So again, I'm off the hook. The photos are great. We got a few videos of angels doing flybys, a ball of light during the show. Everything is direct. Short of me levitating in front of you, I can't do anything else for anyone. This is max direct experience. So I love this job because it's not about me. It's helping you get out of the brain into the heart. Now ask the universe to make something extra. You're seeing my flow of light now. Maybe it's white. White's all the colors combined, but don't judge it. It's really big if you see white. If you see rainbow light, that's the biggest. Do hit pause, run out, buy a lotto ticket. Now it's the universe to make extra. Get flowers. We've had phoenixes. We've had angels show up, geometric patterns, a ball, a vortex, an orb, whatever you want to call it, the universe, extra consciousness coming in. You can get flowers. You can get sparks. At hummingbird, we've had everything in there. See what you can see, and then just put your hand up like you have 5 diamond rings on your hand. A blue sky, no clouds is number one. And you can just see your light like this, but you have to be here. So do a chubby checker or Elvis. If you're at the supermarket, it's number one. Do the Elvis in front of the avocados. If other people are laughing, you did it right. If you're laughing, you did it incredibly right. So the whole point is to do some spontaneous act that gets you out of this into this. Why do you think we have incense sticks and sage and special bracelets and crystals and everything else? Beauty, color, flashing lights, all the fun stuff that can help us be here a little bit more daily. Just Charlotte, an angel who's one of my business managers, she might have been Nefertiti in ancient Egypt, who knows? But in March, she said her origin story is Orion. There's a little hint for you about the galactic aspect of all this. She said 7% less thinking a day is the Olympic gold medal for all of us. Now I've gotten a calculator out 5 times. I still can't remember the exact answer, but it's between an hour and a half to 2 hours and 11 minutes or so that you can just take it easy a little more, put your feet up, read poetry, 1 million ways to be here, but the brain has 40 million reasons why you can't breathe. You can't let go. Yeah, my situation is, my problem is, this is happening over there, so I can't be happy. And here's the ultimate rub. If we ditched everything I've talked about up to this point, here's the ultimate rub. What are you allowing for daily? Period. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Right there. Bam. And that's the true rub. The heart knows this. The universe knows this. In fact, all of reality is structured around that. And yet there's something that's the unconscious or unlove aspect. There's a global slipstream of unlove or density that I think mankind's getting an opportunity to step away from or to emerge out of and into a broader awareness that's simply, it's on the horizon. It may be here. I think it's up to you. What steps do you want to take? And in a way, there are no steps. Let me think what else I can do. I'll put up Joy, 'Tis the Season. So here's an angel named Joy. Put your hand out, treat her like a fireplace. Feel what you can feel, don't judge. Feel sparkle, warmth. If you want to go crazy, see glitter at my end. See glitter at your end in the air around you. Hear a high, peppy voice, ask her a question. Hey, Joy, what do I need to know in life right now? Hear a response. Ask for a hug, get a hug. 1 million ways to feel a hug on your back, yummy in the tummy. Goosebumps. Truly, what will you allow for is all there is about all of this. It's easy to hear an angel, no big shakes. Yeah, it's whatever part of your life that you've been having the most fun. It doesn't have to be the vacation in Hawaii or when you were 5 climbing that tree. It's when you're not trying, you're there. So it's no try Yoda. I'll do Yoda's voice. And why don't you ask her to either be light around you, to buzz your ears, make bells, Christmas bells, hear angels singing. We're so limited, we don't even know what to ask for. So that's why I love being creative, zany. I drop down to kind of a 3rd grade level when I'm channeling because I try to help show you the table. It's angels that set up the table. I'm sitting at a kitchen table, and they've set everything out for you. So it's a lot of hospitality. You just have to be comfortable enough to ask for what you don't even know how to ask for. Just a lot more love and sparkle and zip. Let them do their jobs. So ask for what you can ask for. And here's Yoda's voice, but I'm going to block me out, so I got a little privacy. Do, do not. There is no try. Now, if that doesn't deserve a comment, a like, a subscribe, and a sharing, 'tis the season. Ask her for the smell of your cinnamon, whatever the beverage is that's very holiday-ish, or eggnog if it has a smell. Ask her for the feel or seeing little snowflakes of sparkling white light around you. You won't have to vacuum later. No mean notes. You don't have to call a professional carpet cleaner the next day. It's made out of consciousness, light. There's truly no limits. The hugs can become healing. Colorblind people have seen color. A heavy thinker would need 150 hugs for what a light person would need to resolve a situation. I think it was cedar fever 5 years ago. One guy had cedar fever. I think he had to get 20 hugs from Joy to get it lifted off of him. Um, and then a year later, he had cedar fever and he couldn't get enough hugs to get it lifted off of him. He was too far sunk with the situation. But if you listen to angels, they'll tell you how many hugs to ask for. Some stuff's written, some stuff's not. But you can get stuff lifted off of you. Other stuff is meant to slow you down and it's on purpose. So really, it comes down to, are you paying attention? Will you honor how great you are? Will you honor yourself? Will you honor those around you? Will you honor your surroundings, the trees, nature, the universe? Will you honor the universe? It's far bigger than our society allows for. I mean, if I say to you that fairies exist, there's a jinn who's wonderful, unconditional love, East Asian mysticism. There's hundreds of angels. I mean, in reality, there's 10,000 angels or 100,000 angels. They're all shapes, sizes, and colors. They're unconditional love. They're not here to interfere. They're just here to help. But that means you have to set your intent. You have to step out of thinking the density, the negativity, the what you know that precludes possibility and limits everything, um, and step into something that's beyond society or science's grasp. Science is limited that way. Science is almost like a permanent backwards mirror. So after humans have already discovered stuff and it's decades or thousands of years later, they slap a label on it and call it science. And that's okay. You have to have a level to exist that thinking can feel comfortable with. And that's a really tight little narrow box over here. So you don't want to live and die by thinking or science because it's so structured. It's not as much fun as the real reality that exists beyond human stuff. And that's available to each and every human. Listening is opening the line of communication. You can get, again, any answer, any question, all languages spoken. So, I mean, the real rub here is, why are humans not so sharp? This isn't meant as a derogatory thing, but if you could really have any answer to any questions, and I've been doing this 13 years now, so you think if humans were fast on the uptake, you think the word would have gotten out, wow, I can have any answers to any questions, and it would spread like wildfire, and everybody would want to get their answers, and everybody would want to be a little lighter and more sparkly and a little more higher vibe, higher frequency, and there'd be a little less conflict on the job front, relationships, war globally, and everything else. You'd think you'd want to, handle your resources, handle the planet in a smarter, easier, gentler, more loving way. But it's kind of the way we haven't been structured up till now. Certain people are doing great at showing love always and being more love. And I think that's okay. The contrast again is what it is. And I think you're seeing an evolution in this. Not really for me to judge, but it is for you to experience. So anytime you're ready for a little more humor, gentleness, compassion, kindness, fun, sparkliness, plus all your answers, and a lot of encouragement, support, you can feel an angel hold your hand. Why not? So last little point here. You can feel my vibe, my energy. Put your hand out, feel what you can feel. Don't judge. I'm in Texas. You're wherever you are around the globe. Type Germany and I felt your vibe. Just put an adjective in so people go, oh, he felt warmth, sparkle, high vibe, gentleness, love. On a lot of the Spotlight series, the guests have been saying exactly that. Feel what you can feel, and I'll whoosh you one time. And I'll blow up my microphone, catch a little Hawaii in the air. Feel a vibe up and down your body or somewhere. And that's it. Merry Christmas. Have a good one. Stay in school. That's Earth School. Try to stay open. Try to allow for what you can allow for. Don't worry about stuff in the sky. Maybe it's interdimensional. It doesn't really matter. If, let's say, all the drones or lights or UAPs or UFOs or off-world experiences showed up in the sky for 3 years straight, not a single person's been harmed, no matter what the news says. What are you going to do with that? It forces people to evaluate what they know, Some people freak out. Some government agencies will freak out, can't have control anymore over everything. The earth is part of a broader system full of love and compassion and sparkle. And if you met an off-world being that was pure unconditional love, or an angel who's unconditional love, or Muhammad, Jesus, Mary, I think you'd find out pretty quickly that a lot of the structure that we abide by daily, a lot of the rules and regulations and complete control, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're never going to hear Jesus talk about you can't. You're never going to hear God say you can't. You're not going to hear angels say you can't. Full unconditional love and support. And that's the rub. Human thinking comes in and wants to hijack everything. So even if I did everything for you, it doesn't guarantee that a week from now, your ego doesn't come in and help you go shut tight like an oyster again. I've had, I think I'm going to say 5,000 yeses and 5,000 complete rejections from different folks. And sometimes the person was in this camp and then later has to reject. Their thinking gets in there and they go shut tight like an oyster again. And sometimes it's the other way around. They don't talk to you for 5 or 7 years and then they're suddenly meeting angels and they're very happy and they're yelling miracles. And again, it can switch in a heartbeat because you can just go from here to here or here to here in an instant. Welcome to being human. So here's my favorite and unfortunately not original reminder for everybody. I thought it was the one original thing I say. Most of what I say is angels talking. Remember to remember if you can remember, when you remember, to remember if you can remember. And that's not original. Songyal Rinpoche wrote as a foreword to a Tibetan book of dying by somebody else. He wrote a little page and a half forward for somebody else who's famous. Remember to remember. I've been teaching that to my students for 35 years. And so he has. And so that is our opportunity for growth, is simply getting out of word structure, limits, societal stuff, control. I mean, whether we're talking non-religion, religion, society, government, non-government, this, that, the UFO community, the non-UFO community, everyone, if you haven't noticed, has got an opinion. And one of the things I learned on Wall Street is one of the most powerful things you can say is, I don't know. And one of the second most powerful things is you can say, I don't know, and get out of the brain. And then the final resting place is the heart, where again, everything just becomes a lot easier and clear. So if you want that clarity, drop to your heart, ask Joy about what you need to know about the whole galactic stuff, what you need to know to have more fun today, how to slow down, how to slow your roll. If you think I do anything special for people, I mean, re-examine that. You've got all the ability in the world. Your heart knows no limits. So just breathe more. Go for an extra walk. It's kind of like those New Year's resolutions, though. Have you ever noticed how those don't kind of work out by June? You're not doing them anymore. So there's a little bit of rub. You've got something called an ego and intellect. You can meet your ego. You can tame it. My website's got my services listed on there. Grab me anytime to meet some angels. It's very gentle. I don't see your questions. I don't see your answers. You've got the book and you've got the show. I think we're at around 155 episodes. I think it's Melissa Tittle, producer, film director. She was co-host of one of those shows on the History Channel or Discovery Channel. She's produced a gajillion shows, very Hollywood type, has her own studio group. And yeah, we also have Cynthia Sue Larson on right now, who's a fantastic best-selling author. She too has been on the BBC, Discovery, and History channels. Wonderful, very connected galactically. Both are hyper intuitive, but Cynthia lives by that as a public figure. She goes on shows, she'll listen and let you know what she's hearing and stuff like that. So she's just wonderful. I was super excited to see her yesterday. Be sure to check that out. And then later today is going to be Hope Fitzgerald. Oh my God, another amazing guest. I can't have Cynthia or Hope on enough this show for you to enjoy. I'll be releasing her show probably around 4 o'clock Eastern time. And she takes steps. Every guest, 90%, 95% of guests take steps on air. Most guests take steps on air, off camera, on camera, whether it's sage, feeling angels, listening on our behalf, and so on. It's usually towards the end of every video. So this is the most rare, unique show or tapings because you do really want to stick around to the end. There's some sort of vibe. You can catch the fever, catch the vibe, catch a little love. You can see a ball of light go by. I've had a lot of South African guests getting buzzed. I don't know why it's South African. Real balls of light, not car reflections and everything else. Plus, you have all the photos. And as a final extra goodbye, here's 4 archangels for you: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. Just Ask what you need to ask about. It doesn't matter which one's which. Put your hand out, feel the vibe. What will you allow for? Hear a bit of humor, hear jingle bells if you're nervous. Close your eyes. If you're really bold and somehow childlike, put your tongue out and feel a snowflake hit your tongue. No one's ever done that. If you do it, put it in the comments. But have fun with all this. Have more fun. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Everything in this world, everything in your reality is entirely up to you. Don't listen to me at all. In fact, if I was a piece of paper, crumple it up and toss it into the wastebasket. But you're still left with the opportunity for more love, more fun, more sparkle, more zip in each and every moment. Thank you very much. Michael Andre Ford in Texas. Grab me for a session. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, and emojis count as comments. So if you're shy in any way, just put a happy face in, put a Christmas tree emoji in. Christmas tree emojis. That's what I'm asking for. Thank you very much. Have fun.